Hello, so in this video we're going to look at trying to take the first and second derivative of f of x. And so we know we're given some of these derivative properties, and so we know we're going to be using our quotient rule in the first derivative, and in the second derivative we're going to be looking at using the chain rule. So let's look at taking the first derivative. So we're given the function f of x equals x squared all over x squared plus 3. We know that we follow the format when we're trying to take the derivative that we're going to have an x of g. And so that's typically the format when you're doing the quotient rule. So when we're taking the first derivative of f of x, we're going to do the derivative of x squared, and then we can bring down our x squared plus 3 in parentheses, minus, we're going to have our x squared again, and then we're going to take the derivative of x squared plus 3 in parentheses, all over x squared plus 3, and then we're going to square it. If we're going to take the derivative of x squared, we can use our power rule and bring the 2 out front and minus the exponent, so it gives us 2x. And for the second one, if we take the derivative of x squared plus 3, we can use power rule to bring the 2 out front, so we get a 2x. And then if we take the derivative of a number, we just get 0. However, if we take the derivative of a constant or like a variable, we will get a 1 in that case. But in this case, we just get a 2x. Then we can multiply our fractions together. So we're going to multiply these two together, and we're going to multiply those together. And we will find that we get a 2x to the third plus 6x minus 2x to the third all over x squared plus 3 in parentheses squared. And if we combine like terms, we will find that our first derivative will equal 6x all over, in parentheses, x squared plus 3 in parentheses squared. So now we're going to try to take the second derivative. And so we know that we follow the form of f on top and g in the bottom. So if we take the second derivative, we will use the quotient rule again. So we'll take the derivative of 6x. Then we can put a x squared plus 3 in parentheses squared. And then we'll take the derivative of x squared plus 3 squared. And in parentheses, x squared plus 3 squared, but then we also have to square it. So we can use the law of exponents on that denominator. So if we take the derivative of 6x, we'll just get 6. And we can bring down our x squared plus 3. And for our second one, if we're going to take the derivative of x squared plus 3 squared, we will use our chain rule. So we can use power rule first. We bring down to 2 minus our exponent by 1. And then we'll also take the derivative of x squared plus 3. And we found that that'll equal 2x. So we get a 4x and x squared plus 3. If we distribute out our 4x, we will get a 4x to the third plus 12x. All over, in parentheses, x squared plus 3 to the power of 4. So then I would pull one of the x squareds out. So we could multiply the 6 out. So we're going to take the 6 and we're going to distribute it out into the x squared, and we're going to take the 6x and distribute it out into this one as well. So we'll get our second derivative is going to be 6x squared plus 18, and then an x squared plus 3. And then we'll get a 24x to the 4th plus a 72x squared all over x squared plus 3 to the power of 4. So I would take the greatest common factor within this equation, or this binomial. So if we take out a 24x squared, we get an x squared plus 3. Then we can go through and cancel from the top and the bottom. So we can cancel an x squared in the top, two of them, both of them, and then we can cancel one in the bottom to make our exponent go to 3. And if we take the minus and put it on the negative 24 or on the positive 24, x squared, we get a 6x squared plus 18 minus 24x squared all over x squared plus 3 to the 3rd power. If we combine like terms, we'll get a negative 18 x squared plus 18 all over x squared plus 3 to the 3rd power. You could leave it there, or you could pull out a negative 18, and so your final answer would be a negative 18 in parentheses x minus 1 all over x squared plus 3 to the 3rd power.